Our session is called Achievement Unlocked, Gamify Your Peer-to-Peer. And like Ben said, my name is Joe Hallisey from Mercy Home for Boys and Girls in Chicago. We're a children's charity helping kids who come from abuse, homelessness, and neglect. And my co-presenter is Molly Kelly from Zuri Group, who we've
Yeah,
worked with
hi.
on this project.
Yeah, hi. So Molly Kelly, I'm president of digital with Zuri Group, and Zuri Group has been truly blessed to be work with Joe for many, many supporting the organization with what they aging networks. Um, Joe is really magic, and he comes up with some amazing ideas, and we get to partner with him to implement them. Suited to talk about his gamification approach and how he helped with that and how we can do that not even for your peer-to-peer, just in extend the engaging networks platform because it's so open. So go ahead, Joe.
Great. Let's talk about gamification in general, because I think that some people have an idea what it is, but others may not. In my mind and in my team's mind, when we first started talking about this, we were thinking way back, well, at least for me, to Foursquare. And has anybody else used Foursquare back in the day? It was like, for me, the thing that really unlocked gamification. When you check into somewhere, you get a badge, you see if you're at the top of the leaderboard. um, I of course I've been playing video games for a long time, but Foursquare really was the kickoff point for us there, and that's kind of what drove the initial inception into this. Um, that's kind of where we went with that. A better kind of quote definition is gamification is using game-like designs or strategies in a non-game context, and it's taking old-fashioned donating or other interactions and putting that interactive experience into it. So that's kind of how we've explained it to our senior leadership and to our other stakeholders who got it immediately. What did we do with gamification? we took it to the level for our peer-to-peer. At Mercy Home, our peer-to-peer experience is called the Mercy Home Heroes, and we have a charitable running team that races in the Bank of America Chicago Marathon, and our motto is "No distance is too far to save a child." We're a highly diverse team. We have runners between the ages of 18 and 80, and about 200 folks run for us. And what's really cool about the Chicago Marathon is it runs right next to Mercy Home's West Loop campus. So we're one of the only charities, I think maybe the only charity, that has that kind of, I guess, perk to say that we really can show you that experience, what you're running for, by being on the course. We're not a nebulous entity somewhere. The average amount that our folks raise is about $1,500, and 30% return from a previous year, and then 25% of those are first-time runners. Though I'm not sure about this guy, as
Yeah.
Molly pointed out to me in one of our early conversations. So, how did we get to this awesome moment where we've been able to have all these really generous supporters and runners for Mercy Home? Well, we're big into data, and we've been running this charity team for quite a while. And a few years back, we actually did a market research survey regionally to ask about why people run for charity, what their preferences are, what do they do to raise money. And one of the key findings that we had was that about 171 of those respondents said that they disliked running for charity. And of those, 35% of them disliked the fundraising minimums. Well, we really can't control that. That's the marathon that kind of tells us that. But also 13% thought team communication was poor. So, how can we try to alleviate some of these challenges with team communication and fundraising? And we've done a bunch of things on the team communication level, like different communication channels. But in terms of helping people make those fundraising minimums, we felt like they needed a little bit more support for the peer-to-peer platform and how they were able to use it. So the goals for this project that we had were that we wanted to drive more feature usage on the peer-to-peer platform and engaging networks. We knew that people were logging on. We knew that most of the time we've had people changing their profile photo, but we really wanted them to do more. We wanted more updates to their page story. We wanted them to use the marketing emails to share it out. We wanted them to thank their donors. Thanking their donors is a huge part of our fundraising philosophy, and we wanted to instill that good practice with our fundraisers as well. We also wanted to grow this excitement and interest in fundraising. It is a big barrier when you're asked to fundraise and you've never done it before. So we really wanted to provide all the tools possible to do that through the peer-to-peer platform, and to make it fun and engaging. It's awkward asking your family and friends for money. So how can we make it less awkward sometimes? And then we also wanted to gain more insights quickly into the fundraiser behavior. There is some excellent reports within the peer-to-peer platform, which I highly suggest you check out if you're using it. But we wanted to get that information faster and more focused in this gamification experience. So more data, less anecdotal evidence on behavior. So we did a ton of research into different gamification platforms, and we decided on this platform called Gameball. It's a startup company, and it hit the marks for us with our costs, with our implementation experience, and the feature set that we were looking for. The really nice things that we like about it are low effort implementation with peer-to-peer, which Molly's going to talk about in a little bit, and that the platform handles most of the lift for us. We didn't want to have to run another server to do something, or do some offline number crunching for figuring out who is going to get which badge. It all does it within the platform, so we don't have to do anything extra there. So I have an example experience that I wanted to show you through some slides here, just to show you what that experience, if you were a fundraiser, would be. So in this example, the badge that or action that we're having people do is to get them to log in. That's one of the most basic things that we've started out with. So the fundraiser gets to their login page on peer-to-peer. They log in. After the system recognizes that they've logged in through Zuri Group's help, it will recognize that they logged in. It'll pop up with their widget, which is on the left side of the screen there, that shows their badges. And then they have a pop-up that appears on the screen as well. This is just the demo one that says, "Congratulations, Molly, you earned the first-time login badge." So it's an instant gratification, an instant notification that you have achieved something. Now it's a low barrier to entry to be able to log in, but I think that as you can see, there's a few dimmed badges there on the left, and those are just more actions that we're hoping people can take. And we do know that there are some people that really want to fill out this block of badges and make sure they earn them all. Or what do they say for Pokemon? Gotta catch them all. Yeah. I don't know anything about Pokemon. Say that. So Molly, do you want to talk a little bit about
I just want to say one thing, you guys. So we've been around fundraising for a long time, many of us, and badges have been around, but they just kind of, and now with the movement going on right now for social proof and kind of all that's testing out about having things more vibrant, it really is about the user experience and how you deliver these badges. What we did to implement this is we created a peer-to-peer event framework that is listed on the peer-to-peer. Because the tools are so open, we're able to create this JavaScript framework. And because it's listening on the tool, we're able to capture when someone logs in, when a donation is made, when they update their, when they change their photo, right? When they send an email, when they share on Facebook, share on Twitter. These are all event capturing. We're able to then send that information with that registration so that Joe has the person, we have the person in Game Ball, we're able to send those events. And now, because he has all those events, Joe could decide to create any kind of badges using the tool. He could say, on your 10th login, you get another badge. On your and that's what he meant by the tool being able to handle the lift. So while we've implemented this into the peer-to-peer tool, I did just want to give a pitch for thinking about integrations, because Engaging Networks, unlike some of its competitors, does provide you this open platform that you're able to listen to, and even with their page hooks, listening to events happening, that you're able to, you could gamify any of your campaigns if it's appropriate, as well as a peer-to-peer. So that's how we implemented it. You can come by our booth. I can give you more details on kind of the technical side, but it's all possible. Go ahead, Joe. I know we got the little. So
yes. Go. All right, let me speed this up. So,
yeah.
So we also, great thing about Game Ball is they can give us lots of great insights, so we can figure out which badges are appealing to people or which they're earning more of. I'm happy to see a lot of donations coming in through this report. We can see who our top users are, their scores or points that we might have them earning, and then activity overall. With this graph, we kind of implemented this and imported most of the people in, so that new players thing is kind of quite low, but the daily or actives just are starting to increase here.
My head just thought, Joe, if for people who are using the hub, you could integrate some kind of gamification in a way. Don't call it, into the hub, and give your people that are logging into their hub then some kind of badging system as well, which would be kind of neat. Another application of Joe's magical ideas. Go ahead, Joe.
So speaking of time, the actual race is this coming Sunday, October 10th. So we're a little busy just finishing that up. But what do we have next coming up for gamification here? I just wanted to throw out a few ideas here. The first one is we want to surprise and delight. So Molly talked about a little bit about getting a badge on the 10th time that someone logs in, but what are some other features that people use and how they use it? Maybe we want to tie a badge to thanking people really quickly, or to providing updates through their page story on how their experience is going. Make it a little bit of a blog, a journal. Then we're looking to tie achievements to physical rewards. We have perks, physical perks, sunglasses, t-shirts, jerseys that we give for exceeding fundraising minimums. Let's eliminate a step and automatically take them to our store. They can put in their size, get it shipped out to them. We don't have to do any more paperwork. Let's make it an automated system here. Gameball has an excellent referral program as part of it. We do some referrals right now, and we know that friends and family is one of the best channels for us to get people to run. I mean, who doesn't want to run with their best friend? So let's make it an easier way to get that referral link and see how many people you signed up, rather than having to say in the field, oh, I signed up Molly, and then us on the back end have to go in and tie everything together. And then badges for offline events. I know that the pandemic kind of curbed this a bit, but for our team, all these in-person events are the things that really bind the team together, and it really solidifies their excitement for Mercy Home's mission and their reason for running, because we do a lot of these at our campuses. So let's give some badges for folks that show up, and make this another thing that you can earn. If you see that I have a badge for a fun run, and Molly's there and she sees it, she probably will be like, dang, I got to go to that fun run next time. I want to get that badge.
Yeah.
So that's what we've got going on. So thank you very much, Engaging Networks, and thanks, Molly, for helping us on this this presentation and this implementation.
Thank you, Joe.
Yeah, Joe, Molly, thank you so much for what a great thing. Gamification near and dear to my heart as well. Had a question from the chat, and this is probably the question on everybody's mind: is do you see higher fundraising amounts coming in with all this gamifications?
Yeah.
What are the stats? I know you have them, Joe. I know you have them.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So we haven't looked at this yet to talk about fundraising. We're really focused this first year on fundraiser engagement, we went on to use the tools more. I should have said that in the next steps. We're focusing on the donation aspect next year about getting them to see if that could tie into better fundraising minimums. But for right now, it's all about fundraiser experience.
Yeah, and a lot of that, I mean, I would say that, peer-to-peer is a corner shop of what you are, as a cornerstone of what you do at Mercy Home in terms of your digital fundraising. So it makes sense that you have a strategic vision for how all this gets laid out.
Right.
You're not just kind of like, we're going to do peer-to-peer, and then you just like turn it on and be like, and it'll work, of course, right? Like that's not how it, you need to have some thought and care behind it.
Yeah, we definitely launched this mid-campaign for us for this current year's marathon in the little quiet period. We didn't want to put all our eggs up front and have it bomb.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And so, Lauren, for your other question, we will certainly share when Joe is done in chat. He can certainly share a link to the fundraising pages that Mercy Home uses for all this. We actually use them for references all the time for clients. So yeah.
Happy to show you around, Lauren.
Yeah, we definitely. Joe's always good about chatting with other engaging networks for us, Lauren. And then Austin was wondering, how many runners do you have on your team? What numbers did you start with, and how have they grown? Since you said the badges is more on the engagement side of it, so maybe something more on that side.
Yeah, we have a little over 200 runners this year. The pandemic was a little challenging, of course, with that. But our peak year, we had more than 300. We've been growing at about 25% year over year with our team. And how do we recruit? Oh, we recruit. A ton of it is returning. A ton of it is the referrals to friends and family. It's great being a charity for the Chicago Marathon because we can offer guaranteed race entries, and there's a lottery system for everyone else. So if you desperately want to get into the marathon, come talk to a charity like us.
Ben, that's you, Ben.
And we can help you get in
next year, Ben.
Sure. I'll qualify for Chicago. How about that? I'll do that instead. That's not
okay.
Molly, what is as far as like deploying kind of this in working with working with Mercy Home, what have you found works really well? Like how does Joe work really well with you all?
Oh, Joe is a true technology partner. So Joe has great strategy ideas, and we meet and we brainstorm together and think about how we can change things or what'll really work best. And then Joe really held a lot of that game ball side of the application setup because he knew he wanted. And then, like he told us the endpoints, he told us where to find them, or, he kind of configured the tool on that end. So he plays an active role. That's Joe. We're willing to jump in and do those kinds of things, but, it's Joe. So.
I'd say collaboration is key.
Yeah.
I think with Molly and the rest of her team, we just sit down and we say, hey, let's figure out the best way to do this, and everyone's all good.
Yeah. Just open and honest communication is always best, and thinking up new ideas is fun. That's
Joe,
the fun
we got 15
part.
seconds. Joe, we got 15 seconds. Real quick pitch to you. If someone wanted to run next year, what would you have them do?
If you want to run next year, go to marathon.mercyhome.org. That's our peer-to-peer site. It's going to be open for registration probably beginning of next week after everyone has a good night's sleep after the marathon this year.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Joe and Molly. Really appreciate you coming in and chatting with us about peer-to-peer and gamification.